Ladies and gentlemen, there is a bear outside my hotel room. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here and I don't remember if Smokey and I are on the West Coast or East Coast. I can't remember. I know there ain't no bears in Manteca. But listen, this is really scary. I'm quite scared, folks. I don't know what to do. I mean, do these kind of bears, do they just bite or do they kill you too? That's to say, I don't like the idea of dying so young. I mean, I'm only like 20 something. Listen to this bear. This is as scary as I've ever heard in my life. I heard these East Coast bears are big and mean. Can anybody help me? No, I'm not poking that bear. Are you kidding me? No way. No way. These East Coast bears are terrible. Man, Uncle Pete told me about these West Virginian bears. They got an accent and they bite. He said Uncle Pete said one of the times he was there, this bear told him he was gonna whip his ass. And the bear was only speaking hyperbole. I didn't know bears do hyperbole. I thought it was maybe like honeyperbole or beehiveperbole. That bear said he's gonna whip my ass. Listen, people, this bear is mean. It's growling, snorting. I'm scared out of my. I'm scared. I'm scared. Don't make fun of me, people. It's called satire, people. So being that I'm drunk and high all the time, um, this is kind of normal for me. But I saw like this community post on Phrases thing that somebody was back in California with the ants. We're on the West Coast with there's big old giant bears. Listen, once again. I'm not poking it. Stick. Okay, people. I went into the restroom so it couldn't hear me. I don't know if I should turn the fan on or not. But this bear. Oh, this guy's funny. He actually thinks. Some people. It's amazing. They can't like actually get me and my jokes. Um, it's amazing. I thought I was going to have a little bit of fun, and little Phil there just kind of being a party pooper on me. Good grief, man. Huh. Wow. Some people. So anyway, anybody have any ideas about this bear? Because I'm pretty sure Praise poked it, and it didn't turn out very good for Praise. And Brett has poked it, and it hasn't turned out very good for Brett either. So, does anybody have any idea of how I can save my butt from this bear? Because I think this bear might, quote unquote, whip my ass, unquote. I need help, people. Yeah, I love to do this stuff, and I'm going to do it in a whisper so they all think I'm still high and drunk, and then they can call reasons to believe and tell them that I'm high and drunk all the time, and that as a pastor of reasons to believe, I shouldn't be, doing my science there and stuff. Since I'm not even a scientist, I can't even speak English, let alone do science. Weird, weird science. Anyway, so they poke this bear and they pay for it. Then I thought the wise one-legged Indian chief, uh, Mr. Busy as one-leg man jumping in butt kicking contest. How? Um, that guy, I thought he's chief badass. And surely if he poked the bear, nothing would happen. But he poked the said bear, and he's been triggered over ice cream cones. Kind of embarrassing. I think a lot of these people, like Phil here, could be triggered um, probably by a hairbrush or something like that. I remember when Larry Boy, he had lost his hairbrush, but he really realized he didn't lose it, but he had given it to the beach. Uh, Love VeggieTales, by the way. See, people like me are actually the kind of guys that write those silly songs and try to do silly things. It's people like this Phil guy in the chat that, you know, takes himself far too seriously and then likes to morally posture to people, you know, no sense of humor. So anyway, I digest, guys. How in the world can I save myself from this bear? Well, nobody's offering any help. Just pray for me. I'm going to go try to poke it. It didn't work well for Ryan or any of these other people. Not going to fare too well for CJ, St. Nicholas. They just poke this bear way too much. And I think they're going to be shown as charlatans and people that chase misinformation. It's going to be great. It's going to be very, very great to watch these dodo birds reveal themselves as the dum-dums that would try to impeach Smokey over a phone call to Ukraine to try to get his political opponent arrested, and then go through all this process on a piece of misinformation like our president was a Russian spy, a plant from the Russian government. These are the kind of people. These are feminized Christian. They probably go by this progressive Christianity title. I'm sure of it because they're so easy to trigger. And President Trump was so fantastic at triggering these kinds of people. And I have to thank Premier Trump because I don't think Premier Putin is going to survive the year. So I'm hoping that Premier Trump comes back and shows us how to troll all of these nincompoops that, think that President Biden is like coherent. And it's people like, they want to like lie about people because they're not smart enough to actually debate with people. And if they're smart enough, they're too wicked to debate with people. So they like go for these underhanded type things. But anyway, I got to deal with this bear, people. Um, Pray for me once again. Let's see if it's still outside the store. Oh my, I think it's still out here, people. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna get back to the other side. Oh, pray, pray, people. Hey guys, guess what? We're still on a road trip. Hear that guy snoring sound familiar, people? Gavin sound familiar when you guys are in, Clubhouse or whatever? Sparrow, Olive, Praise, you've all heard that snore. I wonder where we're actually at. Huh. I wonder if people have the wrong guy. That's probably a possibility too. Or there's another family member. Maybe that's it. Or maybe people are following a lot of silly nonsense and they're showing themselves to be slanderers and gossips and backbiters and betrayers, much like Judas Iscariot. Please listen to a song by Petra called Judas Kiss. I'm sure Gavin and Smokey and myself could really enjoy. And we know what it's like when a brother actually turns against you and betrays you for 30 silvers of dumb accolations and praise and, pats on the back for finally getting that bad Smokey out of his environment. Watch people, these numbskulls, they're going to turn on themselves. They've already turned on poor Jamie Russell. Feel sorry for all you guys. Don't you guys have anything better to do? I know I will after I, get off all of these pharmaceuticals that almost killed me. But do you guys have anything else to do with your life? Hey, Phil, maybe you should listen to the actual debate and I'm not talking about Dr. Kerry. I'm talking about the actual discussion when I said we should first discuss the principle, which is the general uh, issue of morality that we learn via natural law or general revelation. And that is, there is something to biological maturity. And then I was going to go to, okay, we know that there are instances where there is psychological differences in maturity. So, where some people are ready to get married at 18, I probably wasn't ready to get married until I was 50. And you all can ask Tammy that. See, I was very stunted psychologically because of my ADHD and the trauma of going, basically 49 years, 48 years undiagnosed. So, um, but my wife actually, um, she always felt like she was an old soul. And When she was 16 years old, her best friends were ladies that were in their 30s. So while I psychologically matured at a much older age, my wife was certainly someone that could have even gotten married at 16. Matter of fact, her mom got married at 15, and my mom got married at 16. So, you know, and let's just say that there's a lot of lies out there actually about the age of this girl, even. Funny. Yeah, the paperwork. It's really going to be interesting. So, anyway, um, probably shouldn't have said anything because I don't want to give these dum dums too much information. They like to run with stuff, but I kind of want them to feel really, really stupid. So, anyway, if any of you guys actually had any kind of sense to follow the argument, you would understand that I was arguing first from what biology tells us. Then I was going to go to psychology. And then, of course, we know that young women were married about the age of 14, 15, even up to modern times. So, anyway, and that would all have to do with parents' consent, which in this case, I do know that the two parents, both sides, did know and approve of this over 2-year relationship. So, anyway, my parents, my aunt, everybody in my family, they were all married and had kids by 16. So, let's not misrepresent my position because that would be bearing false witness. So let me explain it one more time for you ding dongs out there. What I said was we must first look in natural law because the way God created things according to their final causality, which means it is in a general rule that once biological creatures mature and are able to have babies, that's when we know that. That's what nature tells us. Not fallen, not murder, not anything like that, not twisted nature, but truly as God created it. And then we go from there and work and we build our argument. We just don't jump to bombastic conclusions that Kenny says that girls can get married at 10 without parents' consent. See, these guys are really so dumb and they don't follow, they interrupt, they won't let people even give their arguments. And see, this is very, very vicious and twisting of information. And it's really displaying um, the difference between those that serve the Lord and those that don't. I'm amazed that these dum-dums out there like to run around the side chat, claim things. I've said numerous times what I'm doing, how I'm doing things, why I act particular ways, why I push particular ways. This is all very calculated, intent on exposing all of the nonsense on YouTube. I love to actually play parts where I push people's buttons. I've done that all my life. You might call me one of those big brothers that were just obnoxious. See, I like to do that because it tells me if I can trust people, especially after pastoring for so many years, realizing that people are fundamentally untrustworthy. You really put tests out there to see who your friends are and see the kind of people that, say if you throw out something and say, yeah, I'm high and drunk, they'll actually believe it because they don't have any real character and they don't really know that, who I am or the track record or my um, just my overall reputation. They're just not even careful enough and they don't care. The dishonesty is rampant and very, very interesting. Yeah, look at that, Phil. Misinformation. Misinformation. Yeah, not what I said. Not what I said. You guys really need to learn how to critically think. Phil, you're either a escapee from the nut house and you need to return, or you're an adult living at home with your parents and because you can't function in the real world because you can't reason properly, or you're just a big old giant ding dong. It's got to be one of those. Right along with, I'm going to throw your name right in there with these Brett Keen, Bean Brain Keen, that doesn't realize that I've never, ever said that I was a bigwig at Reasons to Believe. Everybody knows I'm a, quote, visiting scholar with Reasons to Believe. And he doesn't even know that I'm actually a pastor, and you protect people's confidentialities. You protect people everywhere you go. You know when people are trying to do things. You know when people are trying to be very wicked. So you throw misinformation out there so you can see who these people really are and expose them to other people so they don't get hurt. And those people don't get hurt, and so on and so forth. Just like Wayne's World. Anyway, you guys are really fun to toy with. And if my sin is anything, it's not the threats, quote unquote, the hate speech, quote unquote. It's the fact that I've been having too much fun trolling and messing with you people and exposing you guys for being judgmental, all kinds of things. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I thank you all so much. And I pray that God grows the channel, um, because I'm going to put all this stuff in satire and comedy, which I think all of my categories are default set to comedy anyway. I'll have to double check that. So uh, actually read the labels that these things come under too. So anyway, things might have got changed when I gave Smokey the password, and it might have defaulted to his. But this stuff is all supposed to be in my little comedy section. Only when I talk about my book or do a lesson, just, dictating things like that, or not dictating, monologuing, things like that. That's when I'm actually in the education thing, because I'm a musician. I write funny songs. I do different things. I'm just, just an all around Renaissance man that's, really, really retarded and can't really do a lot of things great, but at least he could do them. So, bye, folks. It's fun, lots of fun. Thank you so much, Phil. You kind of made my point. You were an object lesson tonight on the very reason I was doing this stream. Good night, y'all.